Welcome to Meshtastic Made Easy. Now, Meshtastic is kind of a new thing that's been floating around, getting a lot of hype right now online on YouTube. And the tricky thing about Meshtastic is a lot of the things you use to get on the mesh, you need to assemble, you need to program, and for somebody who just wants to get started, it can be a little overwhelming. Now, I did put out a video a couple months ago called Meshtastic 101, and it showed how to build a basic node for 10 bucks. A couple things have happened in the global economy since then.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And it's more like 20 bucks, but you can still do it relatively cheaply. But you still have to build stuff and program stuff. Today we're talking about the very easiest way I've found to get on the mesh, and that is with this thing. This is the Heltec MeshPocket. Now, if you go back and watch that video, the other thing that's been a buzz lately has been these. These are the LilyGo TDecks, and this thing, if you're old school like me, you realize that this thing looks a lot like a old BlackBerry. I had a BlackBerry once. It was the worst electronic device I have ever owned, and I will save that rant for another video. But I am going to talk about these because if you watch that last video, you know that I said I don't recommend it at the time, and I was hoping they would get the new firmware out. They did, and my opinions have changed. So we'll talk about that a little later in the video. Now, if you're into this kind of techie stuff, tech reviews, DIY videos, you want to see how we built this solar node that's going to be going back on the roof of my house in the next couple of days, please consider hitting that subscribe button. You can hit it down below. It'll let you know when these videos are coming out, and we really would appreciate it. So now, having getting all my other projects out of the way, let's dive into this. I'm going to show you why I think this is the best way right now if you're just starting out to get on the mesh, if you're looking for a simple way to do it. And what this is a node, a battery, a phone charger, all in one. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna talk about this thing. We're gonna show you the process of setting it up, pairing it to your phone. And then I'll go over kind of the pros and cons of this thing so you can decide if that's what you want. And then we'll talk briefly about what's going on, new stuff with the TDeck. So first, what the heck is this thing? Well, this is one of these, or one of these, but you don't have to build it. It comes complete and it's ready to go out of the box. It's even flashed with Meshtastic firmware, so you don't have to do really anything except for pair it to your phone. But it's got a couple other little cool tricks up its sleeve. This is kind of the biggest one. My phone is charging itself now. Pretty sweet. So let me take that off. This is not only a node, it also has a pretty large battery in it. There are two options for batteries. There's a 5,000 milliamp hour and a 10,000 milliamp hour. Right now, and this is US dollars, so tariffs and all that hoop-de-whoop apply, is 60 bucks for the 5,000 milliamp hour and 70 bucks for the 10,000 milliamp hour. And that gets you everything, which is more expensive than if you wanted to build one of these. However, one of these can't charge one of these. The other cool thing with these is because it has such a huge battery, it has a very long battery life. Unlike one of these, it'll last under a day on a charge. So now let's get this thing set up. We'll show you how easy it is. Now, if you watch the other video, you know you got to assemble this thing, hook it to the computer, flash it. All that's been done. Now, the app here is different than a lot of other programs. You don't have to sign in, you don't have to pay, nothing like that. What this thing does, you're going to fire it up, and we're going to look for our radio. Now, this thing asks for a number, and on the screen here, it's going to give you the security number, the pairing number. So in our case here, our pairing number is 941786. We're going to hit pair. Now these two are going to talk to each other. And you can see here, we're now connected. The only other thing you have to do to get on the mesh is to set your region. And that is because each region is frequency specific. So we're going to go set LoRa region. And right here, it's going to say, please select a region. And we are in the United States here. So I'm going to select that. Just select the area that you're in. Once you've done that, hit save. We're going to save the configuration to the device. A lot of times when you save configurations to these devices, it requires the device to restart. So if we look down now, the device is restarting and it's disconnected from my phone temporarily. Once the device is finished restarting, it will reconnect to the phone and then we can start sending messages. Okay, so we are reconnected. Now, technically, there is nothing else to do. Now, there are some settings you may want to go in and change, but right now I'm going to show you, we're ready to send a message. So we're going to move this thing off here. We'll put my TDeck here. We might as well put my other devices here and here because they all should receive the message. And while I'm sending the message, I will briefly explain to you what's going on. If you want to get in the weeds on it, you can go to my previous video. I'll have it linked. You can check that out. So now we're going to go to messages. channels, and we're going to go to the primary channel. The primary channel, we're just going to write test and hit send. And immediately, our TDeck made some noise. So let's wake up the TDeck, and if we look closely at the screen there, right there at the bottom, it'll say test. The test was received. Also, it's going to do the same thing on all of our other devices that have screens. Test and test. Easy peasy. So now, let's send a message back. We're going to trade spots. We're going to grab our TDeck, and then we're going to write received, and the common kind of thing to write for receive is RX. So we're going to received, and you're going to hear dings everywhere now, but it'll have received right here on the screen. And also now in the app, we can fire up the app, and you can see right there the notification that the message was received. Now, really quickly, to give you a very quick and dirty, what this is doing is this is communicating between these devices using LoRa, L-O-R-A, long range. It's long range, low power radio. So it's kind of like a ham radio where it's relaying the message. Every time one of these, it pings it out again, and that's how we get kind of the distance with these things. Like I said, if you want to get more in the weeds, go into my previous video. It'll tell you all about it. Now let me get these out of the way though, because I do want to show you really quick, if you're your first timer at this, a couple settings you may want to change. So grab your phone again, and we'll share a screen in one of these corners again. We're going to go back into our phone. So now we're going to go to settings, and these are the settings for not just the phone, but also for the device here. We'll first go into LoRa, L-O-R-A. So here we can set up all of our different things. Now the typical number of hops is 3 hops, meaning how many times things will get relayed. Now where I'm at, there are a lot of hills and a lot of mountains. So for me to get from here to work, I need to set max hops. You may not have to, but I'm going to set my number of hops to 7, and I'm going to hit save. Now on this save, it doesn't have to reboot. Sometimes it will, and you'll see that when it starts disconnecting. So from here, we're going to go down to user, and this is where you can set up your username. And my username on all my devices is Hal and then something else, so H-A-L. Let me know down in the comments if you know where I got Hal from. So we're going to go, the long name, I'm going to go Hal Pocket, because this is the Heltec Pocket. And then for my short name, I'm going to go Hal P. Another thing you may want to set up is your position. Not everybody wants their position shared. So right now is set up for smart position, and we have GPS not present, and I have fixed position turned off. And for this device, I'm going to leave fixed position turned off. I don't want this thing sharing the position of my phone. Now you can use some of these as a tracker. These ones, I actually have a GPS module in this thing, so you can use it as a tracker, but that's not really what this thing's about. So we're going to ignore that setting for now, but you can play around with a lot of the other things in here. This one does have a display on it. You can change some of the features on the display, and we'll talk about that in the pros and cons. And there are some other things in here you can set up. We're not going to get into these, but like channels here is a very neat one. Right now I just have the primary channel set up, but you can set up a channel that could be just family or friends, or if you're going on a camping trip, all your buddies. So that way you can have kind of almost like a group text set up that's encrypted, so it's private. I won't show you how to do that. It's pretty simple, but there's plenty of instructions out there. I would recommend going on Reddit and joining the Meshtastic group on Reddit, and also the Discord has a lot of great info. Now getting up close on this thing, we'll get you a good look at that e-ink display on the front. On the bottom of it is the USB-C charging port. On the side is the update port. More on that in a bit. And then we've got 3 buttons, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. The button on this side is the power control button, and it is not just for power itself. A single click, you'll see here, turns on that. That turns on the MagSafe charging. A double click on that, then turns off MagSafe charging. So you can have this connected to your phone just to hold it there and not be depleting the power out of this and putting it into your phone. Now, when you double click on that, it also activates this as an outbound charging port, so you can plug in other devices that are not MagSafe. On the right side, there is the function button and the function reset button. So going to the function button, if you single click it, it'll bring up the node map. Since I did a reset on this thing just a second ago, it doesn't have everything on there. Now, it doesn't actually have a map. It'll just put kind of X's on there in the general vicinity where the other nodes are. And then you can come into here where it'll show kind of more data on nodes that it's connected to. So if you're familiar with like the V3s, this is basically that screen. If you long hold that button, it'll bring you into this. It'll show you the charging state, the duty cycle, the battery voltage. Right now I am at 3.9, and you can kind of go through here and also set up some of your options. A lot of the stuff in the options in here, you are better off just doing through your phone, but it does give you the option to make some of those changes in here. And the reset button is a single click, it resets the device. So I just hit it and it's doing a quick reboot. Now that light that I showed you down here isn't just showing you that it's charging. It has different lights, a red, yellow, and red light. It'll show you the state of charge of the battery. It'll also show that to you up here. So now that we got this thing set up, and I've kind of run you through the function of it, let's go over the pros and cons, and then if you want to hang around, we'll talk about the TDeck for a second. So first, the pros. This thing is pretty slick, and the biggest pro, which I haven't really mentioned too much already, is that big battery. Now, yes, you can use this big battery to charge your phone, and it will charge your phone, but if you're not using it also as a phone charger, I've got 3 weeks of runtime out of this thing before the battery died. A full 3 weeks, and that's with usage. This one won't last the full day, 9 hours. Now, this thing is charging via the little magnetic goober on the back of the iPhone, but that's not the only way it can charge. It does have a USB Type-C slot right there on the bottom, and you can just put a USB cable into it and plug it into anything else and charge it. The next thing I do want to point out is the thickness. Now, obviously, if it's attached to your phone, it's going to be rather thick, but it's really not that much thicker than a TDeck if you were going to be putting these in your pocket. But now, you would have this in your pocket plus this in your pocket. This thing by itself is a lot thinner than any of these other devices, so the portability of it is very nice. A lot of devices have screens, like these have screens, and these are backlit screens. This is also a backlit screen. This is an e-ink screen, so what that means is it does not have a backlight, and it also means when it's just sitting here, it's not consuming any power. It also means when the battery dies, you'll still be able to see the last message that was received, which could be handy. And I mentioned it earlier in the video, but the price of this thing, $60 for this version. This is the slightly skinnier 5,000 milliamp hour, and the 10,000 is $10 more. And finally, it's just the convenience of it. It comes already flashed, ready to go. You don't have to even charge it. This thing came with like a 75% charge, and you're online. There's not a lot of other stuff you've got to do to get this thing working. But not everything is perfect, so we do have to talk about the cons really quick. And there are a couple, nothing major, but there are a few. So the first thing is, I don't understand this, is on the bottom of it, there is a USB Type-C port. That is for charging and discharging, I guess, only. If you need to do an update, you have to use this port on the side. That's a proprietary port, which means you need one of their cables. And I've got the thing hung up there so I don't lose it, but I'm probably gonna lose it. I wish they had just made it where everything ran through one USB-C port, or just put a second USB-C port on the side so I didn't have to try to figure out where the heck I lost my cable to. The other con is this is not waterproof, and I wish it was. Now the big question is if I was just getting onto Meshtastic myself, would I get one of these things? 100% yes, this is what I would recommend. And this is actually something I would get somebody, if somebody wanted to get onto Meshtastic, I would get them this as a gift first before getting them all the other stuff. Although, if you got a real geeky friend, this is pretty sweet, getting to tinker. That's actually why I got into it, is I like to tinker. But this is so convenient and so easy, I would recommend it. So now that we talked about the Heltec Pocket, let's talk really quick about this thing and why I said I didn't like it before and why I've kind of, but not really, but kind of changed my mind on it. So, Lego TDeck. Originally, when these things were shipping, there were a couple of problems with them I talked about in the last video. The biggest was the user interface was terrible. It was just terrible. It came with the same software that runs on these, and it really wasn't conducive to using this thing with a keyboard, and it was very, very unstable. There was fancy UI out, which is what I'm running on it right now, and you can see here it looks, well, out of focus. There we go. It looks fancy. And it basically works like a cell phone. So now you can actually download it and install it. It is a stable version and it works. You can also sideload maps in here, which is kind of neat. I'll show you the map right now because since I'm inside, it hasn't logged GPS, so I'm not going to give away where my house is. But now it actually really functions like a PDA, if you remember that term, personal digital assistant, not public display of affection. I'm not doing weird things with this, but it now functions. However, it's still clunky. It's big, it's much bigger than the Heltec Pocket, and it's just kind of cumbersome. Even the software is cumbersome, using the trackball is cumbersome. So it is nicer. So if you have one of these already, go online, set it up. All the tutorials are on there. I'm not going to go through step by step, but you can set this thing up and you can use it. However, would I still recommend getting this over something like this? No, I wouldn't. I would still go with something like the Pocket or the Card or a smaller module and not something like this. Now, very soon, I'm going to be having a video also showing you how I kind of built this DIY rooftop node. This thing actually was living on the roof of my house until I had to repaint my house a couple weeks ago and I had to take it down. It's going back up, but I'm going to be showing you how to build a rooftop node. So you're going to want to hit that subscribe button if you want to see how we do that. It's a pretty cool, very neat project I did with just random stuff laying around the house. Now, if you got any questions about Meshtastic, about this thing, leave those comments down below or those questions down below. I'm happy to answer them, help you out any way I can. Give this video a great big thumbs up, subscribe, all that fun YouTube-y stuff, and of course, thanks for watching. I mentioned, yes.
I thought you were between.
It's rolling.
Sorry.
That's why I edit. I got T.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to know that.
Hmm?
I didn't know if you wanted to.
No, this is great.
Sorry.
This is going in the outro.
Teeth memory.
It's delicious.